Hi, I am Deon Kwon. I am undergraduate at College of Veterinary Medicine at Jeju National University. My title is Comparative Analysis of Offensive and Defensive Shoes in Soccer.
Index. Introduction. I like to play soccer since I was young. The only club that has joined after studying veterinary medicine for 4 years is Soccer Club. While playing soccer, I look at soccer shoes carefully. Each person had different shapes of the bottom of a soccer shoe. So while searching for the shape of studs, I found that the number of offensive soccer shoes stud and defensive soccer shoe stud was different. Soccer shoes are the most important and unique tool for player. Of course, there are cards and uniforms, but they are the most basic tools along with a soccer ball. When making soccer shoes, must consider the scientific principles. Soccer is now a popular sport all over the world, and many people are enjoying and watching it. Due to this popularity, scientists have also been studying soccer shoes with great interest along with its skill in soccer. The development of soccer shoes is being developed mainly by foreign brand companies for the purpose of improving the function of each player and preventing injury. But there is still a lack of systematic research in Korea. The most important thing in soccer shoes is the studs that stick out on the floor. Depending on the number and material of the stud, it may not be able to stop properly. It also depends on whether a player is injured or not. A small number of studs usually makes sudden stops easier. So depending on the position of the player, the defender usually wears soccer shoes with 6 studs and a striker with 12 studs. The purpose of this experiment is that the user experimental myself prefers the position of an offenders to play soccer, so it is to resolve doubts about what kind of football selection will help improve my soccer skills. Materials. Experimental group. I prepared 8 people in the same club. I measured height, weight, and age. Also, prepare barefoot offensive soccer shoes and defensive soccer shoes. Soccer shoes only use A brand product. Using a stopwatch to run 15 meters, check which soccer shoes can run faster. Lastly, I put the plate cone both sides of the track and check which soccer shoes can assist you go and return more. Methods of first experiment. First, place the subject on the same line and run 15 meters on bare feet and measure time by stopwatch. After a 10-minute break, run 15 meters and measure time with offensive soccer shoes. After a 10-minute break, run 15 meters and measure time with defensive soccer shoes. Finally, repeat and measure the process 2, 3, and 4 5 times. Methods of second experiment. Place plate cones 2 meters apart on each side. Number of times to and fro for 1 minute with bare feet. After 10-minute break, measure the number of the times to and fro with offensive soccer shoes. After 10-minute break, Measure the number of times to and fro with defensive soccer shoes. Finally, repeat and measure the process 2, 3, and 4, 5 times. Result of first experiment. I measured the time it took 8 people to run 50 meters on their bare feet, and I checked the average for each person. I measured the time it took 8 people to run 50 meters with offensive soccer shoe, and I checked the average for each person. I measured the time it took 8 people to run 50 meters with defensive soccer shoe, and I checked the average for each person. When all the results are charted, the average time for offense is the lowest. The soccer shoes for bare feet and defense are almost the same, or the soccer shoes for defense cost less time. The first experiment showed that we could run fast when wearing striker soccer shoes. Result of second experiment. I measured how many times the experimenters go and return the trap on their bare feet, and I checked the average for each person. I measured how many times the experimenters go and return the trap in offensive soccer shoe, and I checked the average for each person. I measured how many times the experimenters go and return the trap in defensive soccer shoe, and I checked the average for each person. When all the results are charted, the number of average go and come for defensive soccer shoe is the highest. Offensive soccer shoe is higher than bare feet but lower than defensive shoe. Discussion. Based on the above result, it is possible to see that offensive shoes can run faster than bare feet or defensive soccer shoes. On the other hand, defensive soccer shoes can be turned more easily than bare feet and offensive soccer shoes. Accordingly, strikers need a faster breakthrough and agility than defenders, and they also need soft and elaborate physical play, so they should not sleep well. Most defenders have to turn back at 19 degrees or at 19 degrees with momentary power, so they have to be able to kick the ground and generate power. When I play a soccer game, I have to buy 13 or more stud soccer shoes because my main position is offense. The limitation in this experiment with outdoor controlled conditions would have produced some error. In the process of seeking soccer shoes, only use soccer shoes of the highly renowned A brand. Reference. Thank you for listening.